How to charm with style the ladies with your charisma. Now I will share 15 of my techniques as a player. 1. Give compliments or words of affirmation. 2. Physical touch. 3. Giving gifts. 4. Quality time. 5. Acts of service. 6. Observe and listen carefully to the conversation and use something from the conversation to turn it into a playful tease. 7. Observe the lady, the physical aspect and all the accessories that she has. 8. Pre-plan in advance playful teases and jokes. 9. Exaggerate. 10. Exaggerate with S in front of the word. 11. Put the blame on her in a playful way. 12. Double meaning. 13. Mix signals aka push-pull technique. 14. Place yourself on a pedestal. 15. Show don't tell. Now I will start with the basics. 1. Give compliments or words of affirmation. For example, you are beautiful. Good job, keep up with the good work. Praise. Etc. These are the things that amateurs use as a pickup line in a desperate act to charm a lady. The right way. Make a compliment combined with mixed signals a push-pull technique. Or make a compliment combined with a double meaning. Example of mine. You are cute, but I am attracted to this size woman. And then I show with my hands an extremely obese woman. I don't point to any woman, I use gestures and my body language to simulate and present the extremely obese woman. 2. Physical touch. For example, you need to be a universal toucher in order to use this technique easily. You need to get used to touching people without you being creepy. What do I mean by that? Touch people in general in the zones, shoulders, the upper part of the back, and hands, handshakes. You will be seen and interpreted as a warm person. When you are a universal toucher, then women won't find it creepy this kind of act. 3. Acts of service. It means good deeds done towards the woman. In other words, helping her with something without expecting anything in exchange. 4. Give gifts. Give the lady something as a gift no matter the size, price, shape, material, etc. If she has this kind of love language, then she will value almost any present. 5. Quality time. Time spent with her. Doesn't matter whether the two of you are alone or in a company with other people, as long as your attention is on her and her attention is on you, then it counts as quality time. Now it's time for you to learn real and quality charming techniques. 6. Observe and listen carefully to the conversation and use something from the conversation to turn it into a playful tease. For example, I blocked the entrance to the gym to a lady for 2 to 3 seconds and she responded. I will unilive you. I replied. Fast or slow? She said. Fast. I replied. I may enjoy it. Her reaction. She continued her road speechless and headed straight to the second floor where are the treadmills located. I left her without any other approaches, because I too had to do my workout and then leave the gym and then to continue with my daily tasks. 7. Observe the lady, the physical aspect and all the accessories that she has. I normally use this technique to start a conversation and I use this technique as a playful tease in the middle of our conversation. For example, a lady at the gym listened to music on her headphones. The model of the headphones was Beats by Dr. Dre. I went to her and I said to her, "Hey, you have nice headphones." Then she removed her headphones and said, "What? In other words, can you repeat?" I repeated, "You have nice headphones. What model are they?" She said, "Beats by Dr. Dre." I said, "Okay, then what type of music do you normally listen to?" She said, "I normally listen to motivational speeches, and even now I am listening to a motivational speech." I said, "What a coincidence. I too normally love to listen to motivational speeches. What was the last motivational speech that you listened to if we don't count the speech that you are listening to right now?" She said, "I don't know, I just downloaded a dozen motivational speeches yesterday." 15-minute conversation more. 8. Pre-plan your playful teases in advance. For example, this story is from 3 years ago. I planned to get myself 2 tattoos at the beginning of January 2021, I announced it to a friend of mine and she said to me, "This is blood poisoning, don't do it. You won't be able to donate blood." I said, "I am not a blood donor," and she left me alone for a few minutes. Then after a certain point of time, I went to her with a pre-planned joke and I said to her, "I am not a blood donor, but I am a semen donor." She said, "I don't want your semen." I replied, "You can't afford it. 1 drop into the woman's mouth costs £5,000. 1 drop into the woman's vajayjay costs £50,000. She said, "How many drops have you sold?" I replied, 0 drops, and then I said, "Come on, name, let me tell my joke to the very end. I am so good as a semen factory that I like to overdeliver and give more for the things that the woman pays. That means if the woman buys 1 drop and will get 9 more drops as a bonus from me." 9. Exaggerate. For example, I shared a short-term goal with a woman who has kids. I told her that I would be getting myself 2 tattoos on my hands. Her response: "What do your parents think about that?" I replied: "I haven't told them yet, but even if they know, they can't do anything to change my mind on that." I asked her: "What would you do if your kid put a tattoo on herself?" Her response: "I will beat her with a shovel." I replied: "How bad do you plan to beat her with a shovel? Just plain no beating, or you will keep on beating him till her head clears from bad things?" Her response: "Just plain no beating." 20 more minutes of conversation. 10. Exaggerate with S in front of the word. For example, in the gym, I saw a very skinny good-looking lady who really works out on her body on a weekly basis. I had had a few conversations with her before. She knows me and I know her. I went to her with a pre-planned in advanced playful tease, first of all, because I can, and second, because I want to. I told her, "Why do you bother working out? You don't need to work out. You need only a daily dose of good stress relief. Just call 911 and ask them to connect you with TJ the stress relief god or TJ the superstar. Doesn't matter which one of these two you would choose, the end call leads to me." Her response: She was left speechless for a few seconds, and then I said, "It's a limited time offer, so don't miss your chance, act now or never." And I continued my workout, and after a few minutes, I finished my workout and left the gym. I wonder why she didn't call me. I think that she didn't call me because she already has stress relief daily and she doesn't want more of it. What do you think? 11. Put the blame on her in a playful way. For example, I used to work in a factory and there was a lady that had a high S drive. I loved the interactions with her to playfully tease her only. I say playfully tease her only, because she had a boyfriend and she currently has a boyfriend, and I am not from these people who break other people's relationships for short-term stress relief. For me, my reputation is worth more than a short-term stress relief or any other human limitation. There was a day when she wore more clothes than usual. She used to wear normally lighter clothing like t-shirts or women's flowy tank tops. I say to myself, LOL. I just came with my best playful tease in the category, put the blame on her in a playful way. I pre-planned it and then I went to her and I told her, "With this light clothing style that you are wearing right now, are you trying to charm and riz the dangerously cute men like me?" Her response: She got confused for a moment and asked me to repeat it. I repeated it. Her reaction: She was still confused and she was trying to decipher the playful tease. I left her to decipher the playful tease because I was working in the production area and she was working in the packing area. After that playful tease, when she sees me, hey TJ the dangerously cute. And yes, when I am working in a factory or anywhere else I work, and aside from that I playfully tease the ladies, and educate the people on the things that I know and use. 12. Double meaning. There was a lady that was driving the car and I and another person, man, in the car as passengers. She is a mother of not only one, but on TWO young ladies. I wanted to make her a compliment in an indirect way. I told her, "Hey, name. You said that you have 2 princesses, right?" She calls her daughters princesses. She said, "Yes." I said, "Do you remember that I told you that I can see the invisible things, the things that are invisible to the others, but not to me?" She said, "Yes." I said, "I haven't seen your 2 princesses live, but I can tell you that I can see that they are good looking, because you are gorgeous, and your gene won't produce anything else but good looking kids. On top of that, I can say that your younger princess can surpass your older princess when it comes to beauty." And then I told her a story of mine. A friend of mine was telling me in a conversation that he thinks that the Bulgarian ladies are the most beautiful in the world. I told him, "You haven't seen enough sexy ladies. I can tell you that the ladies with each and every generation become more and more attractive, because this is the evolution of the human species. That's the story." After that, she said, "You are talking about my girls, right?" I replied, "Yes, of course." With a smirk on my face. 20 more minutes of conversation. 13. Mixed signals aka push-pull technique. For example, a few years ago I was talking with 2 ladies. We were discussing tattoos and then lady number 1 told me that lady number 2 had a cool tattoo down there. I replied, "Hey, lady number 2, do you really have this type of tattoo that we are discussing with lady number 1 down there? You don't look like a lady who would put this type of tattoo on herself down there." Lady number 1 said, "Which lady is more likely to put a tattoo on herself down there?" I replied, "A lady that has a high S drive." Lady number 1 winked at lady number 2. I said to myself, "Ladies, I can see through you literally, don't you get it? I am a master of reading body language." Then lady number 1 said, "Don't you think that lady number 2 has a high S drive?" I replied, "She has increased temporary S desire, but I can't say that she has a high S desire." Now is the technique. I said to lady number 1. Lady number 2 is cute, but I like this type of lady, and I showed visually with my hands, enormous size ladies. And we took the conversation from tattoos to enormous ladies. 10-minute more conversation. Then after our conversation finished, I was observing the reaction of lady number 2. She was sitting in one place and she was questioning the validity of the thing that I said. Mentally. 14. Place yourself on a pedestal. For example, in a chat conversation on Instagram with a lady, I were talking about the S topic. She said, "Do this kind of thing and I will give you a blowy." I said, "I don't want blowy. I want all-inclusive." She said, "Okay, I may be able to do that." I said, "I am in high demand and I am not searching for one-night stands, I am looking for a long-term relationship with a lady or TWO. Let's see if will you qualify." 10 in more conversation. 15. Show don't tell. You need to express yourself with gestures, not with words. For example, I draw in midair with my finger a lasso to a lady and then I grab the imaginary lasso with my hand as a cowboy, and then I start to circle it above my head and then I throw it to the lady and then I show how I tighten the lasso like a cowboy, around her.